Hello everybody, my name is Byrnage and this is my review for Alpha Mission on the NES. Alpha Mission is a shoot-'em-up game with a pretty loose story. Apparently 7 nations at war destroyed each other's homes, so they decided to join forces and find a new home. That way they can rebuild so they can go back to killing each other. And the place they decided for a home is Earth, so you're here to defend it. In typical shoot-'em-up fashion, you fly up the screen, destroying all enemies in your way. You have ground fire and air fire for different enemies. Shoot anything flying around in the air with your lasers. There are turrets on the ground that will shoot at you, as well as pyramids that hold power-ups. These need to be shot with missiles. There are many different power-ups in the pyramids. A good amount of them are actually power-downs. So let's break it down Sesame Street style. S is for speed, making you go faster. L and M are your laser and missile power-ups. These will improve your weapons, making you shoot faster and cover more area with your shots. W is for warp forward. R is for reverse warp. That takes you backwards. F is for finding power-ups. It makes it so you can see power-ups and don't have to destroy the pyramids for a while. E is for energy, which is used to power different ships. K is for keeping your power-ups on death. This refers to your speed and weapon upgrades. You don't get to keep any energy you had on death. Then there are the power downs, and these can be game-ending. A backwards E removes energy, and it's double what the normal E gives. A backwards K removes all of your power-ups. Once you pick this up, you're probably dead. C does the same thing as the backwards K, but also removes your energy, so it's just basically the same thing. There are also ship shapes that you can pick up to unlock that ship for use. Remembering what all the power-ups do is essential to getting anywhere in this game. As I mentioned before, hitting just one power down probably means death. And this is the type of shoot-'em-up where it's very hard to recover from a single death, so often a single death also means game over. To help prevent said death, there are several different forms your ship can take. Some of these will cost energy each shot, and others will cost energy over time. You will only start with the Octo and the Shield? The heck is with the spelling on some of these? The rest you will have to pick up as power-ups. Octo shoots in 8 directions. It can only shoot one bullet at a time and it's slow, but it kinda hits hard. It's barely better than going with nothing, though. The Shield makes it so you can absorb hits and spend energy instead of dying. With full energy, you can take 13 hits before death, and that's just insane up from the normal one-hit death. Cannon is clearly canon to this game's horrible story and gives you a straightforward blast that is pretty wide. I like this one better than the Octo because the concentrated fire feels better for bosses. Nuclear shoots nuclear warheads, which can hit land and ground and hit pretty hard, but they eat through your energy pretty fast. I didn't find these useful in any situation. Homing shoots out a bunch of homing missiles that seek ground targets only. These can be very useful in areas with lots of ground cannons. Fire shoots out a steady stream of fire that blows up ground and air units and bullets. This power-up is one of the strongest, but will sap your energy quickly. The Paralyzer is almost identical to fire, except the ships caught in a beam will stop moving instead of just die. It seems strictly worse. Thunder blows up everything on the screen in one hit, even bosses. The final boss has 3 phases, so you can't just one-shot that one, but if you have enough energy for 3 uses, then you can blast through it no problem. But that's pretty close to maximum energy. If I had my way, I would only use Shield to survive levels and Thunder to one-shot the bosses. But once you use a ship, you can't use it again until you find the power-up for that ship again. So you're often forced into trying other ships out, which is a cool idea to force you to use some of the lesser ships. There are 6 stages, and then the game starts looping back to stage 1. Don't judge this game by how cool it sounds, because I thought it sounded awesome, but it's really not in actual practice. It feels a bit behind in the times in development. It's almost impossible to come back from a single death unless you're on the first level, which puts you back at the start of the stage, so you might as well just restart and get full lives. The power downs will end your run in an instant, and several times I accidentally blew up a pyramid and got the power up underneath immediately before even seeing it. And of course, it was the one that just killed my run. The number of different ships was cool, but most of the time your selection will be very limited. Also, there's no way to tell which ships you have available, and if you enter the ship selection screen, you either have to pick one of the ships or forfeit your current ship and go back to the standard one. This means, say, you're using the fire, and you want to switch to shield, so you bring up the ship change menu, but then you find out you don't have a shield, and you want to keep the fire. Well, tough luck. You can't. You gotta switch to one of the ones that you got or go back to the basic ship. These mechanics just made the game unforgiving and painful to play. This is easily one of the worst shoot-'em-ups I've ever played, so I don't recommend it to anyone. Sorry if you have nostalgia for this game, but it's just not very good. Maybe the 7 nations will stop warring if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.